how to place our hands so that we hopefully can prevent a broken wrist by accident. There's a couple different ways that you can have your wrist broken either by your opponent accidentally or on purpose. And I guess one of them is if he's got me in side control, and you may have to lower down Omar to get this. But if I put my hand here to try to keep him away. Remember, we're supposed to build a frame. You know, we've been talking about building frames, and this is fine right here. But if I put my hand here to build the frame, then he can accidentally or on purpose.
If I put my weight on it.
You see how? Like the wrist could be gone in a second.
Right, because your elbow's jammed against the mat,
Yes,
so
exactly.
there's nowhere for it to go.
And so like we would not probably do that to each other on purpose in this group because it's you don't have a lot of control there, but we could definitely do it by accident.
Yeah,
So,
because I would never think of it, because if you get a regular frame in,
yeah.
because the main way that I'm going to want to beat that is to roll on it and make it weak and then slide it back. So if you did that, I mean, that I would be thinking to drop my hips that way just to clear it.
Yeah. So the answer to that is just don't be using your hand to brace yourself. Use your frames.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've accidentally wrist locked myself with Kurt. Oh, come to Mountain.
Okay.
This is another way I've accidentally done it. So one thing that we worked on, I don't know if we did a video on it, but I'm going to try to use my hands on his hip bones to bump him up and put him into my butterfly guard. And if my hands are too far in and I go to bump him up, see, I can wrist lock myself on both sides. So I want to keep my hands out to the side to where when I bump him up, help me a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
There. Makes sense?
Yeah.
I don't want him in too
and then
far.
of course you just, it's not a risk if your elbow's not isolated. So if you bump them up and your shoulders on the mat, your elbows in the air and your wrist is there, it's not a problem, because if it starts to go that way, your elbow can move. But it's like if he bumped me up and then his elbows came back to the ground, he's in trouble. Because this joint is frozen, like you said, his elbow's down. But if you bump me up and you kept your arms out, then you're okay. You could do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have that elbow isolated in order to get the wrist locked. And so like also if you tried to do that, you know, I could, if I want, I could grab this and then kind of
You see what he's doing there?
actually
He's
pin
intentionally.
it, and I can do a wrist lock there. But if you can keep me up like this, you know, I can twist all I want, and you're just not gonna bother you. You'll just move your elbow. But as soon as that elbow's on the ground, you lose that mobility. So
Yeah.
you and it's pretty much every submission. You want to lock the joint just above the joint you're attacking.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you're same thing. If I have to lock your hip if I'm going to attack the knee for a heel hook. I have to lock your
Elbow.
elbow, or shoulder basically to the ground with an arm bar, or with my legs in an arm bar if I'm going to attack the elbow.